The underground fix?
Let's do this. X. Oh shit.
What the fuck?
I smell something.
It is serious? Hit the motherfucking floor, baby! Come on! Let's go!
Our political point is the protection of our race, giving us what's owed to us and letting us determine our own destination, either here or somewhere else, and not standing in our way when we decide, suppose we decide we don't want to be on this board anymore. Well, here's what we should be able to do. We should be able to leave. But here's what we're facing right now. Remember all that confusion I told you about earlier? If we try to leave, some of these pieces will use their powers to stop us. They'll fight us. They won't allow us to do what we would want to do to get away. And who governs that? Why is this happening? A long time ago, I taught on something called the terrarium of Yahweh. If you remember that, it was a theory that's postulated when we took some of the writings and we put it inside of a computer. And it generated a structure that is supposed to resemble what we're actually living on. This is not something for flat earth or anything like that. This is something that is described in scripture when he says that the firmament is above, the waters above and below. A lot of people just don't understand what he means by that. When you think about the great flood, where did all the water come from? Because if all the water that covered the earth came from the earth, then when the water came back down, where did it go? See, that supports the argument. But at the beginning of all of this, there's something else that's much more important that governs everything that's happening right now. And that is, we all fail to realize that we are just pieces in a game. Yes, we are. And some of us are made differently. And by the way, while I'm at it, I got to go into the petty department. If you've never read this book right here, Coping with Your Partner's Jealousy, this book right here is the book that's designed to help those that are suffering from the fit of jealousy. You want to pick this book up, and it will help you cope with your partner's jealousy. I have come to the conclusion that all of these men out here that cannot keep my name out their mouth need this book because you're in love with me, and it's okay. I understand. You don't know how to express it. You've gone so far that you can't come back. This is the book for you. This is the petty department. I'm being petty. Coping with Your Partner's Jealousy. Make sure you pick up a copy of that. And then while you're also at it, please pick up a copy of Enough by Juan Williams. This is the phony leaders, dead-end movements, and the culture of failure that is undermining Black America and what we can do about it. You'll find some familiar names in here. I'm not one of them. And then while you're at it also, don't forget to pick up a copy of Power to the People, The World of the Black Panthers. Excellent book. This one is by Shames Seal. Shames Seal. Keep the name. Now, I want to shift for a quick moment because I think you all get the idea that we are defeating ourselves. We're self-defeating ourselves in this game. I, for one, don't fight with anyone, but if you're going to slow down the process, I'm going to have to pay some attention to you. But I don't have to do that because what controls me is what we call the nature of the true God. Tonight, if you all don't mind, I'm going to go to the book of Morals and Precepts. Again, you know I'm always in this book. And I'm going to go to chapter 2. Where it talks about something that a lot of folks don't talk about, and that is the true nature of God, the true nature of the Creator, the true nature of Yah. Now it's time to get deep, and it's time to get serious. If you all don't mind, there is but one God, the high God, the designer, the creator, and the ruler of the earth, and the Lord of the kingdoms of light and darkness, everlasting, all-powerful, and beyond the understanding of men. I can stop right there. Beyond the understanding of men. So when men try to sit there and tell you, God would say, or when they sit there and they try to tell you, I know what I'm doing because, see, God told me. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now you're putting yourself on the same level as the Creator by saying that he came down to tell you. You're totally ignoring the structure between the watchers, the angels, the Kodesh Malachim, the archangels, and then, of course, the Creator himself. No, the message came down to you through proper channels. You see, some folks don't know what that means. They don't understand proper channels. However, goes on to say that the great dweller in everlasting pregnant silence, unseeable and unknowable. Now, I've taught on this before, so I'm not going to dig too much into it tonight. But the reason I read that to you is because of the simple fact that most of us are so arrogant that we think that we are the ones controlling what we're doing, and we're not. As I said before, this is a classroom. I'm going to keep saying it until you get it. That everything that we do or are doing has been preordained. We're simply puppets acting out our parts. And some of you, not all of you, some of you are so loathsome and so hateful of that you'll do anything to stop it. But you're not going to stop us. And I say this to all of my comrades around the world. You know what our mission is. You know what we're doing. Let us continue to push forward. If you're not about the liberation of our people, then please, why are you here? And then on top of that, I want to say one last thing. If you don't like what we're doing, you can go and do your own. If you don't like what we stand for, go stand for something else. If you are so afraid that we're going to get you all killed, then make sure you can defend yourself instead of crying like a little baby. What we're doing because we feel it in our soul. What we're doing because we are true believers. What we're doing is for the good of the future of our kind. And how can you not see that? I don't know. But I know one thing. It says, work for our God, and he will work for you. He remembers well the man who labors on his behalf. He who labors to the benefit of others works for the great God. He who improves earth works for him. Now, I don't know about you, but the work that I'm doing is for the whole. The work that I'm doing, I'm not asking for anything. The work that I'm doing, I'm uniting people. The work that I'm doing is giving people hope. The work that I'm doing is inspiring unions around the globe. The work that I'm doing has put our oppressors in a very agitated state. The lynchings even stopped. The work that I'm doing is getting progress in Breonna Taylor's case. The work that I'm doing even has the governor talking about, you know what, we're going to try to get this thing wrapped up before the NFAC comes down. The work that I'm doing is action that I'm backing up by the words that I speak when I teach to you. The work that I'm doing is what should be done. It is the fruit, as it says here in the book. It says the purpose of man's sojourn on earth is the glorification of man, not the glorification of God, who is the all-glorious one. Thus it is written in the plans of God. Y'all still not getting me. It says the true temples of the great God are not structures of stone and brick. They are places of quietude in your heart and home, where you listen to the awakening of your soul as it responds to the conscious contact with him. His worship is your labor among the people. Let me say it again. His worship is your labor among the people. So if you think that standing up, singing a song, or just raising your hands and this, that, and the third, that that's praise, no. It is the work that you do, or it is the lack thereof. You see, when somebody sees somebody else doing a whole lot of work and they know they ain't doing no work, they want them to stop working. And then you have people who treat everybody else like they're stupid. When I say that, I'm talking about those of you who don't understand that what you have tuned into is a class that's been going on for almost 3 years now. This is facts over feelings. There are people who've been here for 3 years when it was just a small group of us who will come together every few days to discuss something and leave our feelings at the door. Now it has grown to over 105,000 people, and most of you all are new jacks that are walking in here trying to ask questions without realizing this is not a talk, this is a teaching. This is not a talk down, this is a lift up. This is not a break you down, this is a breakthrough. This is not something where we come in to indict you, this is something where we come to enlighten you. This is where we share the original text with you so that you can do some thinking, so that you can critically decide whether or not you've been brainwashed. This is the me talking to your soul. The same way somebody had to talk to mine. We are evolving, are we not? It is not declared in the plans of God that uncertainty is an essential earth condition. Yet this you may know, that if you be worthy, and very few are, there is a method whereby you may look beyond the veil, and then no longer will you walk in uncertainty. Well, my, ain't that a word right there? You see, I'm giving you these pieces because most of you all still don't realize that you're still asleep, even though you say you're awake. If you make the proper moves and we do what we're supposed to do and work together, then we can all get out of this in one piece. But if you continue down the path that you're going, you will find out that it won't be us that will be saying it. It'll be them that'll be saying it. And what is it that they'll be saying? They're going to be saying checkmate. And those are facts over your feelings. So get out of your feelings and get with the program, because it's time for us to move. I am the Grandmaster Jay. This has been Facts Over Feelings for tonight. Checkmate in more ways than one. NFAC for life. Mother. I will see you all soon. Don't forget, this is available on YouTube and it'll be available on Instagram. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the Morning Mental. Shalom.
Big Sight, New, Hank, Big Trash. Y'all know how this shit go, you know. All eyes on
Underground fix. X. Oh shit. What the fuck? I smell something.